Hey parents, welcome to this week's weekly parent update video. Want to let you know what's going on this Wednesday night at GSM. So we have finished our series through the book of Ephesians. We're now starting a brand new 2-week series that we're calling Mixed Up, and we're going to look at the topic of gender identity. As we were discussing different topics that we need to cover with our students, this was high up on the list. And so we wanted to deal with this appropriately and well, but your student needs to know the truth that the Bible gives on this issue, because culture is pressing in this idea that gender is assigned, that gender can be fluid, that gender can be all over the place, right? And not binary. And we need your student to know the truth. And so this Wednesday night, I'm going to be teaching with the high school. So if you got a middle school student, make sure to go check out Justin West's video that should be posted with this as well. And he'll tell you what he's going to cover with your middle school student. But with your high school student, I'm going to dive into 3 points. The first is that your gender is given. We're going to go to Genesis 1. We're going to look at the image of God and how before sin ever enters the world, God creates man, male and female. And he does this on purpose. And so your gender is given to you. It is a gift by God, and it should be celebrated that way. God did not make a mistake in giving you the gender that he did. Number 2, your gender is everlasting. And so Paul says in 1 Corinthians 6, he's talking about our bodies. Our bodies will be raised from the dead. You're not just your soul. You're also your body. And just like Jesus was raised from the dead with a body, you will also be raised from the dead with a body, and you will have a gender in heaven, right? Whether male or female. So it's not something that I can change it now and it doesn't matter because eventually I'll just be a soul in heaven. No, you will be a person in the new creation, soul and body. And so your gender is given, your gender is everlasting. And the last thing I'm really going to press into is your gender is insufficient. And basically we're going to look at how the world is selling a lie. The lie is, if you're unhappy with who you are, change your gender, change your dress, and you will be celebrated and you will be happy. And if you do that, if you change and transition, if you start taking the hormones, if you do the surgeries, then you will find joy. But we know from stats that the suicide and depression rate of people who have transitioned medically is astounding, right? 7 to 10 years, they reach this depressive state because it doesn't satisfy them. And so I'm really going to say, above all things, we need to know that Christ alone will satisfy us. Everything else that you think the world is going to give you, whether it's this issue or if it's money or if it's popularity or if it's sex, none of it will satisfy you. Christ alone will satisfy you. So gender is a crummy god. And so that's what we're going to cover with our high school students. We know that this is a sensitive issue, right? We want to be appropriate in the way that we handle it. But we got to be honest. The culture is after our kids and after them on this issue. So we want to press in well so that they know the truth, they can stand firm on the truth, and they can see God has created me on purpose for a purpose. It's a beautiful thing. And even how to engage others well on this issue, to be loving and yet to be truthful. And so send your student this Wednesday night, 6:30 at GSM. We'll be talking about this issue. Next week, we're going to deal with some of their questions. So they'll get to write out their questions on this, which will be great. One announcement for you. Our Sent conference is coming up this Saturday. That is a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. event, basically here in the building, where we will talk all about how to live life on mission as a student, how to be Great Commission focused. And so we're going to have breakfast, we're going to have a morning session, we'll have breakouts, lunch, and then we're going to go do a service project together. The cost for that is $20. That covers both meals and a hoodie for your student. So make sure to sign your student up. They can sign up this Wednesday night just with their name and hoodie size. They can bring the money on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That's check-in time. Please email me if you have any questions about that, but we want to get a lot of our students here to serve together so we can have a big impact on our city for the sake of Christ. And so we love you so much. Email me if you got any questions. We'll see you next week.